Putin is only deploying 20% of his regular army, why is he calling up reservists? Why doesn't he go deeper into the regular army, people that
I
are
think
already trained?
Well, there's a very good answer for that. Putin no longer believes that he has potential to reach an agreement with the West. He knows that Washington is ultimately in charge. He sees no evidence that Washington, under any circumstances, will negotiate any sort of ceasefire arrangement, let alone an agreement on Ukrainian territory with Moscow. So, number one, no more negotiated agreement is in sight. Secondly, the frustration in the Russian people. The Russian people were very surprised, as I was and many others, frankly, that watched the initial operation unfold, that he did not go in with a sledgehammer, which was the traditional Russian method, frankly, and was so meticulous in his avoidance of civilian damage and infrastructure damage. So I think those two things have caught up, and he's finally said, well, that's over. So he's brought in reservists to relieve Russian forces elsewhere in Russia, and they are now pouring in to Belarusia. The rail yards in Minsk are full. You have thousands of trains pulling into the western railheads in southern Russia. Now, I don't know how many troops that amounts to. If we say there are 200 or 300,000 more troops now entering the theater, we have to assume that probably half of them or a little less are combat and the other half are support troops. But that still means that the Ukrainians would now have to deal with an additional 150 to 200,000 combat troops. That seems to be in the offing. Now, it'll take time to assemble all of that, but that's what the reservists have enabled. They're replacing Russian troops in eastern Siberia and northern Russia.